Okay.
Talk sports. Let's talk sports.
do it.
Let's talk sports.
Oh.
Boxing sports.
Terence, another fight week, another moment to make history.
Right.
First man in the four belt era to be undisputed. First man in the four belt era to be two-weight undisputed. First man in the four belt era to be three-weight undisputed.
That's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Talk to me about what that means to you, because when you actually look down the history of boxing and all the people that have obviously competed from way back when, becoming a three-weight undisputed champion, that just does not happen. So talk to me about the magnitude of what stands in front of you come Saturday night.
Well, history stands in front of me, and legacy. All the great fighters, rose in times like this, and I'm looking forward to doing the same.
When was the first time that you realised that you were great?
When I first started, I always had that belief that I was great. I just needed the opportunity.
We'll talk opportunity in a minute, but let's go back to when you did start. How old were you? 7 years of age when you first put on a pair of gloves?
Yes.
So you're telling me that when you walked in there at 7 years of age, you just had that natural feeling of thinking, I'm actually really good at this? Because you're an athletic guy. You did loads of different sports.
No, I wouldn't say that I walked in there thinking that I was great. I just had the heart and the mindset that I'm better than you. You might have better skills than me. You might be faster than me, but I'll beat you up. When I was on the football field, I'm going to get you. I might be the smallest, but I'm going to tackle you. I might not be the fastest, but, I'm going to work the hardest. Basketball as well. You might have all these attributes over me, but I bet you I can shoot better than you, or I can play defense, or I can hustle harder than you. Things like that. So I think that's what led me to keep rising and keep getting better each day that I put work in the gym.
So it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. It's just in me. It was something that, I was blessed with, from birth. The competitiveness, nature, to, want to be the best and want to win at everything.
Is it an environment that you grew up in, not necessarily just at home, but in Omaha, in Nebraska? Talk to me about the type of characters that you're surrounded with that have kind of forged your mentality to where you are today.
Well, when you look at the characters, everybody was competing. You had a lot of talented people, but they didn't have the heart, or they had the heart, they didn't have the skills. And I was blessed to have a little bit of all of it. I had more heart than skills at the time. I just had to keep working and get my skills where my heart was at.
I get it. Regarding the opportunity that you mentioned a moment or two ago, have you ever found this journey that you've been on, and it's been an unbelievable journey, have you ever found it frustrating, the business of boxing? Because I've no doubt that you wanted maybe these opportunities 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even when you first started, but there's been a patient game that you've had to play in order to get the opportunities.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Definitely frustrating, when you putting your all in something and you see people that does half of what you do get the biggest opportunities, and they name get called and things like that, and you sitting on the sideline like, man, what I mean? It's definitely not a good feeling, because you know where you belong. And when your number or your name finally do get called and you show the world, like, I've been here, it's like, it's kind of disappointing at times, because it's like, man, if only they would have called my name 5-6 years ago, I could have been farther in my career, or I could have did so much more. But, I'm a firm believer that everything happened for a reason. And, whatever God's plan was, it led me to get that calling right now.
You must have good people around you, because I can imagine that being quite a frustrating period when you're around the dinner table and you're talking about your career with your friends, your family, and they're going, Bob, we should be doing this, we should be doing that, we should be going in this direction. And you're seeing these other people getting opportunities, maybe because, I don't know, maybe they're more vocal or whatever it may be. There must be frustrating times. So it's important to have good people around you that can keep you on that right path and not get you frustrated?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It definitely was frustrating coming up out of the amateurs and you seeing everybody in your graduating class be on, ESPN and Showbox and things like that, and you just sitting on the sideline like I'm better than these dudes, and you seeing dudes that's not even on your level get TV slots and things like that, and you like, man, I'm over here fighting in Iowa City, Iowa,
Yeah.
in Barnes, while these dudes on national TV and the world's getting to see they talent and skills. But when my name did get called, it was on HBO, and I made a huge impact.
Yeah, you did. But how hard was it not to break character? Because everybody's mouthing off, they're calling for this, the being a bit of a showcase, I suppose. Trusted in your skills is a very difficult thing to do when you're going through what you've just been speaking about.
It was frustrating. But having the right team around you to tell you just keep working, your time will come, and don't worry about it. You're gonna be further than all those guys that getting the attention now. The cream always rise to the top. So, me just keeping my head down and just working and keep just winning. That's it. Just keep winning, and then everything else fall where it's supposed to fall at.
That's an amazing amount of self-belief. Because for those that don't know, that are watching this, you obviously went through a period where there was a lot of talk about making the Spence fight, for example, for a long time. And I've spoken to many times where you're going, well, it's not me, I'm ready to go. And I kind of got a look from the outside that it was maybe a conflict between promoters or a conflict between television channels of being able to make that particular fight. And you backed yourself. You said, okay, I'll step away. I'll take away all the barriers in order to make that fight. Taking a massive risk because it still might not have materialized. Talk to me about that. To step away from that moment in order to try and force through the super fight that you wanted.
Well, of course, that's a fight that the world wanted. I wanted. Spence wanted. But the people behind boxing didn't want it. For some odd reason, they didn't want to give Terence Crawford the opportunity because they knew that I could potentially wreck everything that they built. So I actually went to the fighter, to Spence. We had a conversation. He wanted to fight just like I wanted to fight, and we made the fight happen.
And is that where we find ourselves now come Saturday night? Talk to me about this opportunity, because I've seen you speak about opportunity and you've had to wait. Now those opportunities are coming. I think the world is waking up to the greatness of what you are. Talk to me about the opportunity being presented to do what you could potentially do on Saturday night.
Oh, man, this is the biggest opportunity of my career, and this is the opportunity to become, the first three-weight world champion, undisputed. Don't get no bigger than that, especially fighting a guy like Canelo, who's, been undefeated in this weight class, who's, railroaded everybody that stepped in front of him in this weight class. So this is a massive fight. It's the biggest fight in boxing, and I'm looking forward to it.
There's an amazing stat around the fight as well. I think between you, you've had 750 rounds of professional boxing, and neither of you have touched the canvas at any point in that period of time. Do you think something's got to give come Saturday night?
We shall see. We shall see.
About that challenge, though, do you think that you do have to stop him with it being a Mexican holiday weekend in Las Vegas, or do you think that you can put in a performance where people at the end of it go, wow?
I don't focus on, the stoppage. I just got to focus on winning, winning in tremendous fashion, not letting up. That's it.
Last time out against Spence, you had some serious get-up with the fishing net and all that. Have you got something lined up for the fans come Saturday night?
I got something lined up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's Mexican holiday weekend. Are you coming out in a sombrero? Is that where you're going?
Everybody always do that.
You're going to do something very unique to you.
Always.
Listen, as I say, always a pleasure to be speaking to you on fight weeks like this, on the cusp of even further history. Terence, have a wonderful week. Looking forward to see you do your thing on Saturday night.
Appreciate it.
Top man. Thank you, buddy.